Oh, well, grand rising. And today we're saying grand rising because we're remembering that we are in a new arena now. The pandemic is over. The issues that we were having are over. And now we can move forward. And when we move forward, we realize that just maybe perhaps we're supposed to be happy. Maybe it was God's will that we be happy and move forward. What a marvelous idea. And as we come together this morning, we'll take that in. We were supposed to be happy, and when we're happy, we rejoice and we bring more of God's presence into our lives. We want to do that because we want more of the presence of love in our own lives and in our neighborhoods and in our countries and certainly in our world. And so today we remember that. We remember grand rising, bringing peace and happiness into our lives. And we each have the possibility and the probability and the capacity to do it for ourselves, for our neighborhood, for our world. What a wonderful thought. And so it is. So it is.
Wow, Rev. Patricia, that was tremendous. I mean, we love that. Are you kidding? We can actually be happy? Well, if she says so, then I'm all ready for it. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Rev. How about a little Gary Lynn Floyd, a little Unbound. this beautiful song that we are on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground, and I know there are angels all around. So let us praise, come on, praise God now, praise God anyhow, for we are standing in God's presence on holy ground.
Good morning. Welcome to the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. We're very glad you're here. It is my distinct honor and privilege to offer prayer this morning, so I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Remember that there is no wrong way to enter into prayer with the divine. There's that one life, one perfect entity, the back of all creation. Whatever it is, when time came to create, it could only create out of itself. And there came time and space, universe layers, the heavens, the earth, the mountains and the seas, and the desert of Las Vegas. As we breathe in that fresh, cool air, I know that each of us is happy. We are blessed. We've entered into a new year. We've looked back, and now we look forward with utter giddiness, knowing that the divine shows up in every way in our lives, that miracles are an everyday occurrence, and that we are blessed beyond belief. Because it is a new day, it is a new year. God showed up as us. And we live the divine God lives we were always meant to live, lives of happiness, of divine health, of amazing prosperity. We have relationships that are filled with integrity. We experience and express in every way, knowing that that which is the divine lives in and as each of us and comes forth. So breathe and feel that breath that fills your air. Know that that is the breath of the divine that moves through you. Know that that is the very heartbeat of the divine. For each of us is a divine manifestation set loose on this planet. And as we start this new day, this new year, we expand into happiness, and we know that that is ours. So I simply release these words into that living and loving law that only and always says yes to us. I claim it, I call it forth, and I boldly demand this collapse into physical form, for these words are the truth of my and our being. And so it is. Have a great day. Our being. And so it is. Have a great day.
one more day. Well, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. Yeah. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. Yes, I do. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on. I release, let it go, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. That's free. And my heart is open wide. Come on. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. No way. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Give it to me. The Spirit run my life. Here we go. And my heart is open wide. It is. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on. No more struggle. No more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I am. I'm only here for God. And I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free, so free in the Spirit. Yes, I am. And I'm only here for
All right. Patty Powers and Dave. Powerhouse Patty. All right. If it's comfortable for you, please say with us, God bless America and the rest of the world. And just turn to a neighbor and say good morning and welcome.
And my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yeah, yes, I'm only here for God. I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free right here in the Spirit. Yeah. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Cheryl Bell, along with my sister Reverend Stacy Hilton. Thank you and welcome. Anyone here for the first time? Hi. Hi, how'd you hear about us?
I started attending in California.
In California?
And just moved here.
Where in California?
Sacramento.
Sacramento. All right. Well, welcome. Our ushers have a gift for you. And you?
I found you online.
Online?
Yeah, from Hawaii.
Hawaii. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Oh, they're pointing someone else out.
San Francisco and Sacramento.
Hey, Chuck.
Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. Chuck's from a couple places there. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. All right.
Reverend Teresa.
Hi. Where? Oh, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? You did.
Welcome.
All right. Vegas
Wow.
is
Yeah.
happening.
Welcome to the
They're
Night
still
Island.
pointing.
Right there. Go ahead, raise your arm.
Ooh. Hi. You've been here before?
No.
No? What's your name?
Alton.
Alta, thank you for being here. How'd you hear about us? Online? You just live down the street? All right. How lucky are we? Awesome. Thank you for being here. You know, the teens left for camp on Friday. I had a picture, but I don't think anyone has it to show. Oh, there it is. All right. The theme this year is, let me see, keep dreaming forward. Isn't that cool? So they'll be back, I think sometime tomorrow. Actually, it's Martin Luther King weekend, so they, the guy on top is going as our camp advisor, and that's Taya's dad, Anthony DeStefano. Hey. And there's Ava, and there's a friend of Taya's going too. Awesome. So awesome. And the teens actually meet here and online. So I think the next meeting here, not on Sunday, but is the 24th, which is a Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So thank you all for being here. It's awesome. And no matter where you are on your spiritual path, you'll always be welcome. Thank you. Oh, you're here on a special day too.
Yeah, it's a good day.
They're all special.
Is it my turn or is there a power talk?
We have a video.
We do have a video. See, thank you.
Yes.
Today we explore Martin Luther King Jr., an American hero, known for his nonviolent leadership during the Civil Rights Movement. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15, 1929. He was super smart. He finished high school and started college at 15 years old. He studied and went on to be a minister in Montgomery, Alabama, with his wife, Coretta Scott King, and their 4 children. In 1955, Dr. King led a 381-day bus boycott after Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus ride. This incident sparked the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was a national effort made by African Americans to eliminate segregation and gain racial equality during the 1950s and 60s. Segregation is the enforced separation of racial groups in a country, community, or establishment. That bus boycott led to the Supreme Court ruling that segregated buses were unconstitutional, which meant they weren't allowed anymore. It was a major victory for the Civil Rights Movement, which proved that Dr. King's nonviolent method of protest was working. He became the face of the Civil Rights Movement. But life didn't get easier. In fact, he suffered more. He was arrested and put in jail almost 30 times. He was stabbed, his house was bombed, and both he and his family were constantly threatened. For a man whose message was peaceful, he suffered violently for what he believed in. He traveled over 6 million miles, wrote 5 books, dozens of articles, and delivered 2,500 speeches. His most famous speech came in 1963 during the March on Washington in front of 250,000 people from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech is iconic and one of the greatest speeches in American history. Later that year, he was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year. And the following year, at 35 years old, he would become the youngest person ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize. That same year, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which banned racial discrimination. This was one of the greatest accomplishments of the Civil Rights Movement. The next year, in 1965, Dr. King led another march from Selma, Alabama, to the Capitol building in Montgomery, Alabama, which led to the passing of the Voting Rights Act, eliminating the remaining barriers for African American voters.
I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
This would be the last speech Dr. King ever gave, because the very next day, he was shot and killed. He was 39 years old, gone but never forgotten. His legacy lives on today. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill that declared the third Monday of January as a national holiday to honor Dr. King, a man who changed the course of U.S. history, an American hero. We salute you, Dr. King. Our country is better because of you.
What a man. It was a beautiful video. This is a beautiful song by Fleetwood Mac. My love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, the mirror in the sky, what is love? Can a child within my heart rise above it? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, and children get older. I'm getting older too. Cause I've been afraid of changing, cause I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, take my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, the landslide brought me down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, may
morning again. Good morning. Yeah, thank you, Patty. Beautiful, beautiful song. And Dave. Beautiful. All right, today you all are in for a treat. One of my favorite ministers is here. I don't have a lot of favorite ministers, but she is one of them. I don't mean any harm by that. I just don't. I don't mean any harm. I just don't. So, Reverend Celeste Frazier has been a senior minister and spiritual leader of 3 centers for spiritual living. God bless her. Power of Oneness Spiritual Center, the DuPage Center for Spiritual Living, both in the Chicago area, as well as East Bay Church of Religious Science in Oakland. She currently serves as the associate minister at Unity of Washington, D.C. Celeste is a guest speaker and facilitator across the country, including many religious science centers, Unity centers, and other New Thought centers, and has presented at regional and international conferences. An ordained minister, Reverend Celeste A. Frazier has a podcast, Mystic Magic. It can be found on all your favorite podcast venues and was on Unity Online Radio until Unity Online Radio went off the air. Celeste was a diversity trainer for the CSL Diversity Commission and one of the first certified regional visioning coordinators for the Centers for Spiritual Living. Reverend Celeste regularly facilitates visioning workshops in churches, as well as for individuals and corporations. Her new app, Conscious Grace, containing several courses, talks, and recordings on spiritual principles and practices, is available on Google, Apple, and on the web. Reverend Celeste facilitates several spiritually transformational workshops as well. Reverend Celeste is a concerned community activist with a global consciousness. She has directed outreach ministries to convalescent homes, children's hospitals, hospices, and prisons, providing shut-ins with love and light. You may find her praying on a street corner, or marching in the street for women's rights, peace in the streets, or healing and injustice. She facilitates regular conversations on diversity with an eye toward achieving equity and inclusion. She was the event coordinator for the groundbreaking Celebrating Our Soul, a New Thought conference by people of African descent at Unity Village and online from August 11th through 14th in 2022. Celeste is an actress who has done print, commercials, film, and television. She has written, directed, and produced short films and is a recipient of an award from the Black American Cinema Society. She's a published poet, an essayist, a playwright of several scripts, and produced screenwriter. She is an expressive and creative being. In addition to her book, Common Miracles, Frequent Illusions, released in August 2022, containing stories and insights into everyday miracles, Celeste's previous books, Divine Workplay, I have that one, and In Spirit, in Love, are available on Amazon and Kindle, and there are a few books here as well. She is a contributing author to several anthologies and has contributed her writing to publications such as Agape's Intervisions, Creative Thought Magazine, and the Science and Mind Magazine. Please help me welcome Reverend Celeste Frazier.
I did give her a short bio, I'm just saying.
I don't want that. They need to hear all that you done.
Good morning, Las Vegas.
Good morning.
I love being here because y'all are so lovely and the music is slamming and the people are friendly and loving and God is good.
Yeah.
So on this day, before what is the 97th anniversary of the birth of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as we acknowledge the new thinking that Dr. King baptized us into, not only as a nation, not only as humans, but as spirit. I actually saw the video earlier this morning, but when I saw it this time on a bigger screen, I had a few tears because I currently live in Washington, D.C., and I've actually been on the same space where those things happen. And so I felt it a little differently this time. But because as spirit, we are grand. You know, it's all this talk about grand rising, right, for the theme and all of that. But what is grand? What is grand? How can you describe grand? And so I decided to be with that. And I thought about magnificent. When you think of grand, you think of something magnificent. When you think of grand, you think of something resplendent. When you think of grand, you think of something majestic, glorious. You think of something that is the most important of its kind. You think of excellence. And don't get it twisted when I say the most important of its kind. Don't go to categories like race or anything like that. Because the of its kind, let's call that humankind. Let's call that, for your reference, being important has to do with one thing and one thing only, love. Being love. So when we talk about a grand rising, we're talking about rising in love. And I think about when I was a child and I had aspirations of having a dedicated life to God. I became overwhelmed by the fierce hatred that killed Dr. King, and that discouraged me quite a bit. And the crucifix thing, that disturbed me a lot. So I ran away from ministry for most of my life. And I have a fear of this whole cross thing that I have been moving through gradually over the years without fully understanding initially what the cross really represents. And that is the intersection of oneness. So I got to thinking about what's happening in terms of the celebrations that are happening for Dr. King, and I was what Dr. Howard Thurman called spiritually and intellectually confused. Now, I'm a big fan of Howard Thurman. In fact, I'm going to be teaching a class around his social activism and his spiritual mastery in DC later this year. But I was thinking about Thurman and the way that he was able to tap into the mystic that he is. And mystic isn't anything mysterious. It simply means someone who is keenly attuned to their oneness with God, keenly attuned to that divine energy. And being attuned to that divine energy means that you're not caught up so much in what's going on in the external as much as you are really being fascinated and consumed by the inner life that is vibrant. And so we need not think that it's difficult to find something particular in our lives that connects us to the universal, because it's already there. It's all together. And so what I think is that particularity is as crucial to universal truth as a bigger perspective. Because inside of this microcosm is that seed of the divine in each of us. And so Thurman would tell us that we need not search or be on a quest for a liberating spirituality, because Jesus has already delivered it. And I'll say more about that later. And I know that, for a lot of New Thought people, there's a lot of denial about our relationship with Christianity. But if you think about the fact that 2/3 of the textbook is based on the teachings of Jesus, you might want to rethink that.
Exactly.
So, there is an Ernest Holmes quote that says, "Never limit your view of life by any past experience.
always expect the good. Jesus lived like that, didn't he? Jesus lived like he was expecting the good. It was like, oh, this isn't here, let me help it show up, right? From the whole water into wine thing, and I'm sure a lot of y'all would like to know how to do that. Right? But so whatever it was that was transformative energy that is possible when you have the consciousness of the all good, when you have not just, you know, the idea of getting drunk, but how can I support people in being in their joy? And I think about Dr. King when I think about that as well, because there's so much about the freeing of people's minds that has brought joy to people and continues to bring joy to people. Because when we get so caught up in these situations, circumstances, and conditions, we get bound. I was listening to that song earlier talking about being unbound and talking about being unwound and remembering that love is who you truly are. And that other song that talked about standing on holy ground, because we forget that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, because we get so attached to the human part that we forget about our spiritual essence. And so there was a speech that Dr. King would give where he would refer to this very popular poet, and in that there were a lot of words about fleecy locks and black complexion and all of that, but the part that really caught my attention is, I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. And there is so much about this whole idea of looking at things from the outer as opposed to looking at things from the inner. I think about this whole idea about history and how we hold on to fear. I think about how we are so consumed by what happens in the news. We're so consumed about what happens online in conversations about differences in ideologies and differences in how we see the world and who we think is right and who we think is wrong. And I'm knowing that we can hold on to our fear because it's a familiar companion. It's not necessarily a desired companion, but one that we're used to. And so I just wonder, how is that constructive? It is not. But ignoring the trauma of history is not part of healing either. We have to acknowledge that the healing must include the trauma. So when people don't want to have conversations about race, they're usually avoiding the trauma, the guilt, the whatever that is that comes up. But to know that whenever you have a wound, that you have to address it, it doesn't just heal on its own. And you have to hit that pain point even when you're putting peroxide on it or putting a bandage on it or whatever it is. In the process of healing, you have to get in touch with that pain in order to move through the experience, because we don't move around experiences. Unless we move through them, we cannot really experience healing. And so what I know is, to be present with our trauma, we must breathe. And the breath brings us into a present moment awareness. And the breath itself is healing energy. When you think about it, it's the divine energy that is giving us life on a moment by moment basis. And free will comes with each new breath. So each new breath gives us a new opportunity to choose again, yes? Yes. Breathing is an act of courage. Some people choose to keep breathing. Some people just allow breathing. But I want us to look at breathing as an act of courage, because every time we say yes to divine energy, we are saying yes to being that divine energy. And being willing to be in your heart, being willing to be in your substance like Dr. King is and was. I don't like to refer to people in the past just because their physical body isn't here, because energetically there is so much of Dr. King that is alive and well in so many of us and continuing to rise within us grandly. And so I know that fear is always some form of insecurity, and we do have these wonderful opportunities all the time for regeneration and transmutation and sublimation through our faith, because faith comes from the heart, not the mind. So I want us to really know that the information that we get when we listen to a lot of our leaders is really something that is striking us at our hearts. So we saw the outer in people like Mandela, Nelson Mandela, and Dr. King, but we were not privy to the Christ consciousness that enabled their conviction to truth. And as much as some of us try to fight it, religious science is based in Christianity, as I said before. Yes, in Hindu, yes, in Egyptian spirituality, yes, in Kabbalion from ancient Egypt, from Hermes, and rebirth by New Thought pioneer William Atkinson. But the point is, the information is based on ancient wisdom. And the thing about wisdom is that it is indisputable. What does Ernest Holmes say? Never limit. Never limit your view of life by any past experiences, right? So that's the consciousness of the Christ. Like King's inner life was so much more powerful than anything that we could encounter in his physical life. And that's the truth for each of us. So no longer hounded by inner demons of fear and hypocrisy and hatred. It means becoming more free to engage our fullest powers. We don't need to stay crippled by the fear. We don't need to stay intimidated by the conditions or the circumstances. When you think of Dr. King walking through crowds that were throwing things at him, the woman that stabbed him with a pen, when you think about the many times that he was disrespected, I think of the moment, and Esther Nicholson sings about this in a song that she wrote about that, when the man spit in his face and Dr. King took his handkerchief and he wiped it off his face and he turned to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you," handing him back the handkerchief. There's a level of consciousness that can do that is not caught up in fear, that is not caught up in situations and circumstances. There is an understanding that he is not the person in fear, that there is something else going on. And when Dr. King would talk about this poem that was entitled, curiously, The Negro's Complaint, there was, a lot of people who would focus on the fleecy locks and the black complexion. But here's the part that resonates with me. I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. And so he also went on to say in one of his speeches that the resistance to the Negro's aspirations does not only express itself in obvious method of defiance, but in the subtle and skillful method of truth distortion. The only reason that segregation was able to last for so long is because of the distortions of truth. And what I know is that the resulting segregation and discrimination was something that could not be sustained because it was not based in truth. And so when you think about the reason for uprooting racial discrimination from our society, is not only that it's morally wrong, but it is that it disconnects us from our true self. And that we may not have been able to recognize Christianity as a liberation theology because it was taught to us and brought to us by people who were overly distracted by their own oppression. A lot of the information that we get through the Bible is about how these people were able to overcome all of their conditions, and they stayed in a constant state of oppression. And even it had to take someone's violent death in order for them to find that they had a new opportunity for a free life. But Christianity is the story of the crucified, not because of Jesus, but because of the followers who understood little about the consciousness of a clinging more to the circumstances and clinging more to the persecution than to their own inner truth. And Christianity has subsequently become so consumed by the persecution of Jesus that they ignored his consciousness. And the focus on saving has been the seed of a belief in a religion birthed in freedom but clothed with oppression and sacrifice. And not even in the full substance of the word sacred. Right? And so in the sacredness of our communion with God, we get distracted by things like the Last Supper or the last 7 words of Christ. And then we've not even taken the time to understand the meaning of communion. And so I'm inviting us into that consciousness, because the Christ consciousness is about listening to the Christ within us, not unlike what Dr. King did. He listened to the Christ within him when people were spitting in his face and where people were shouting horrible things to him. And we got Christianity kind of crooked. It's not simply about helping the needy, but eliminating any sense of need. Because we live in an abundant universe and there is nothing lacking. And so I want us to understand, as I begin to close, that in this abundant universe, there is a powerful Christ consciousness of oneness and infinite possibilities. Because truly, for a spiritual being, there is no need unfulfilled and no predicament that requires defense. So the arrogance of the oppressors have overshadowed the truth. Colonialism, imperialism, ego have kidnapped the very consciousness of Christianity. And although the transcendentalists and the New Thought metaphysicians who followed them were also overshadowed by the talks of lack and suffering, that the truth and resultantly the ancient wisdom became less than a footnote and reduced to something less than a wish. For if one is to believe Jesus, one would know that it is one's faith that makes one whole. And so I want us to know with a practitioner's consciousness that we can be led into a new realization of our unity with the cosmos. That we can point to spiritual truths so that others may see what we're looking at. That we can distinguish between true spiritual perception and psychic hallucination. Right? That we can use common sense together with true spiritual values, so that dogmatism is not blinding us to the great good that might enter through our understanding. Perfect God, perfect person, perfect being. We're talking about a full awareness with the truth about spirit, about completeness, about wholeness. And so in this process of oneness and trusting in one's own ability to reveal the real person, I want us to expect freedom from this point on. I want us to return other people's insanity to them. Yes. Just like that handkerchief. And I want us to be conscious to meet every situation in life with calmness and peace. I know that's a tall order. I'm not even sure I'm up to it myself, but there is nothing in my memory that causes me to feel uncertain or unable to cope with any situation. Because within me is something perfect, something complete, something divine, something that was never born and can never die. Within me are peace, prosperity, power, wholeness, and happiness. And I need nothing outside of myself to make me happy and content. I'm whole and completely satisfied within myself. We were all born in blackness, and that is only possible because we are the light. Shine. Namaste.
Reverend Celeste is some powerful divinity up here. I mean, that was so powerful. Thank you. Wow. Shine. Well, that's what you did this whole time. Wow. You guys picked a good day. I mean, it's a great day. It's always a great day here. It is. Wow. Speaking of newness and new things and new love and new life, this is a new day has come. A new day. A new day. I was waiting for so long for a miracle to come. Everyone told me to be strong. Hold on, don't shed a tear. Through the darkness and good times, I knew I'd make it through. And the world thought I'd had all, but I was waiting for you. Hush, now I see a light in the sky. It's almost blinding me. I can't believe I've been touched by an angel with love. Let the rain come down and wash away my tears. Let it fill my soul and drown my fears. Let it shatter the walls for a new sun. A new day has come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, when it's dark now there's light. Where there was pain now there is joy. Where there's weakness I found my strength. All in the eyes of his joy. Hush, now I see a light in the sky. It's almost blinding me. I can't believe I've been touched by an angel with love. Yes, I have. Let the rain come down and wash away my tears. Let it fill my soul and drown my tears. Let it shatter the walls for a new sun. A new day has come. I'm at
I'd like to ask the ushers to please come forward, as this is our time for giving and receiving. And the truth is, the world works in circles. So what goes out comes back. If you need an envelope or anything, raise your hand. And if it's comfortable for you, please say the affirmation on the screen with us as you hold your gift in your hand. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And in honor of Reverend Celeste's talk, I'm moved to read from Luke, that's on our envelope. Love and you will be loved. Extend joy and you will become more joyful. The ancient Talmud says, God will doubly guide the already guided. And Jesus, the greatest of the great, said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. Shall men give into your bosom, for with the same measure that met with all, it shall be measured to you again. And so it is.
So it is.
Yeah. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe that I will receive. I just have to know, yeah, and then declare it to be so with an open mind. That's all, and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, yep, then it is mine. Sing it with me, Daisy. Anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, it is mine. Yes, joy and peace, it is mine. Oh, love, 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 it is mine. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine.
Good morning. Here are your announcements for today. Join our practitioners for midweek inspiration and prayer. That takes place on the first and third Wednesday of the month. So our next meeting is this Wednesday from 6 to 6:45 p.m. We are reading from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Be Yourself is the topic, which is pages 170 to 172 if you have the book. That is on Zoom, and if you have the time, come on by. Practitioner Jamie is having her Life Reflection Cafe meetings on Mondays at 10 a.m. The next one will be on January 22nd, so there will be no meeting tomorrow. Harnessing Your Happiness Hormones is a class that is coming on Thursday, January 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. The cost is $25. There will be a Zoom link sent to you, and you can sign up on the happenings table in the Grand Hall. We're going to have a breakfast fundraiser here at the center at 8 a.m. on the first Sunday in February, which is February 4th. It is $10, cash only. Looking for sponsors to purchase and help feed those not able to afford the breakfast. You can get tickets from the Revs or in the bookstore for that. That should be fun. Thriving While Aging is a class that's going to be facilitated by practitioner Lauren. This psychoeducation group will focus on physical, mental, and behavioral changes that support members in aging well in a meaningful way. This will meet on Thursdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. beginning February 8th. The cost is $10 a week. Sign up as soon as possible because it is limited to 10 people, and that is available on the happenings table if you're interested in that. The Power of Decision class is coming up as well. This class is designed to empower students to reach independent decisions, which enhance the quality of their lives. It's based on the powerful metaphysical classic. This course is valuable for both the new and experienced student. Tuition is $145 for this 8-week class, and if you're a review student or a high school student, the cost is $75. Scholarships are available. And again, the text is The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. It's an 8-week class to be held virtually on Zoom on Wednesdays, and it will start February 7th. The time will be 4 to 6:30, and Reverend Cheryl is the instructor. Okay. Check the happenings table. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a good day.
I'll follow you anywhere you go. I'll follow you.
I'm going to ask the minister of prayer team to please surround the room. Any visiting ministers or practitioners, please join us here at the stage. Please don't leave with a heavy heart. You see all the practitioners around. They're here to pray with or for you. There's also a box where you could put a prayer request in if you choose. If you're shy, don't be shy. Oh, visiting practitioner, I didn't see you. Hi. Hi, Willard. All right.
And a visiting minister.
And visiting minister. Would you like to come up? You don't have to. It's all good. All right, I would like to ask Reverend Celeste to give us a closing prayer.
Whew. The breath, what a gift. And in this awareness that we are constantly being given this wonderful life energy, that we are constantly swimming in a consciousness of all good, that we are absolutely graced with an abundance of love, and that we are truly able to transform and transcend any and every circumstance, situation, and condition. I give thanks that in this new day, we have awakened to this power to decide to be all that we are, all that we have been created to be, and all that we can imagine and more. Because God is, I am. We know with Dr. King that beyond situations and circumstances, there is love, and love is the cure. With an abundance of gratitude, I release this word to the heart of God as the mind of God acts upon it. And so it is. Amen.
All right, let's stand and sing our peace song.
Woo!